Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 2, Episode 12 of Rats and Men. I was really excited to find out that this episode wasn't based on like the ice cream cat because I thought it was going to be like sort of a one-off episode because the preview I saw for this one, they completely focused on this ice cream cat thing. So I thought the whole episode was just going to be sort of a one-off, story type episode where they would just be pretty much in the lair trying to figure out how do we fix this cat. And I guess if that was the episode, then it would have led to the basically us getting the cure in the series. But instead of that, it actually focuses a lot on Splinter and the team going up against the Rat King, who is returned in this episode, and he's far more powerful than he was the last time he was in the series. And Splinter is trying to fight him mentally because Splinter is just that cool, but he has his problems. And the way this episode ended was really, really cool with the little fight that they had. And also it was very different because it didn't end where like the main story ends and then they have like the little scene afterwards where it's just some little funny thing happens. It was one of the ones that just like the end of the story was the end of the episode, and I actually thought that was really cool. And they had like a cool pose where he takes the bandages off his eyes and stuff, and it just looks really cool because he overcame like this huge problem that he had, which was of course the Rat King controlling his mind. But it was a really good episode. I thought the action was cool, like the whole ending fight scene with all the characters when they were fighting the giant rats. I thought that was really cool. Like everyone was doing some pretty cool hand-to-hand combat. It was good to see all of the main characters. Casey was in it, April was in it too, and we even got to see Irma in it, which I thought was really cool because they're putting her in it, more and more because Irma is really one of the main characters, and it was good that she got quite a few lines. It wasn't just like when she was introduced and she was just talking to April a little. She was in this episode quite a bit, so I'm excited that they put her in this episode because that's not what I was expecting at all. But unfortunately, she's put in it, and she was in it a lot, like I said. And hopefully we'll get some episodes where we get some backstory on her if she has any, and I'm sure she does because this franchise is really huge. Pretty much every character at least has their some moment in time where they kind of get to develop. So hopefully we'll get that soon. I know the season finales, it actually happened today because this is like almost a week later. So but I know the season finale has already been online. Like it was online early, and it was online even last week for some reason. I don't know if that was by mistake or not, but the season finale is already up, so I doubt she's really in it too much. So we might have to wait until season 3 to really get some information on her. But I'm sure they'll give us some information on Irma, and she'll have her moment in the spotlight next season. But it was good to see her in this episode at least, and like I said, we got to see at least all the good main characters. We didn't get to see like Shredder or Karai or any of the bad guys, but we had our one main villain, and he was destroying the city with all his rats, and he upgraded to giant rats in this episode, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the street chase scene where they're going through. I thought that was pretty cool. It just how crazy it all looked because they were going through, and these giant rats were like really destroying the city. It was almost like watching a zombie movie a little bit, where they're just like destroying everything. And I love that scene, especially with Casey. Some of the little contraptions he had like a little spy bike almost, and that was cool. And he dropped like the little marbles, and then he had like the flamethrower part I really thought was cool. And like shot the fireworks, and it actually like blew up the cars behind him. I thought that was a really cool part that they added for Casey, and he stood up to that rat towards the end of the episode. Also really amazing. I don't know if he'll completely be over his fear of rats, but he stood up to that giant rat at least. So I think he's definitely taking a huge step forward and not being afraid of rats. But ultimately, I thought it was a really cool episode. It was good to see an episode that it didn't focus a ton on Splinter, like it wasn't his backstory again or anything like that, but it was him just being Splinter and him kind of overcoming this obstacle that he had. And it was really cool to see him fight. And like the scene when he kind of went crazy in the kitchen, I thought was really cool because he for a couple of seconds he couldn't control it, and he was like jumping around like a rat, and I always think that's kind of cool when he does that. But overall, really good episode. It had its funny moments, of course, with Michelangelo and the ice cream cat. definitely hilarious moments, especially when he got saved towards the end. I thought that was really funny, but like I said, I'm really glad it didn't focus on that, and that it wasn't a one-off. Like it still technically was a one-off episode, but it was much better that it focused on Splinter than it's just like, oh, they have a problem trying to help April turn her cat, keep her cat from melting. But ultimately, thought it was a great episode. So comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and what type of character focused episode do you want to see next? Like this one was obviously focused on Splinter. We've obviously had at least 2 or 3 episodes apiece for all the turtles, and even 2 or 3 for April. So do you guys want to see more from one of those characters, or would you guys like to get I guess the second Casey focused episode, because we did get one of him, but obviously since he's only been introduced in this season, and I believe he was only introduced in the second half of this season, we still don't have much on Casey and him, too much as a character, and he's just getting into being the, Casey Jones vigilante style. So who do you guys want to see in the next character focused episode? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.